I've got a beautiful piece of beef brisket I'm going to barbecue today. Now brisket can be quite tricky to grill because it needs cooking so slowly, so I'm going to show you a foolproof way to make sure it's tender every time. I seasoned the whole joint with salt and pepper, heated some olive oil in a heavy cast iron pan and seared the beef quickly on both sides. Then I left it to rest, turning the heat right down on the pan, added some sliced onions and softened them in the meat juices with some rosemary. I added plenty of whole garlic cloves and then put the meat back on top. I gently poured over a whole bottle of beer, then covered the whole thing in a damp sheet of baking paper to stop it drying out. Finally, the lid went on and it went into a hot oven for half an hour. I then turned the oven right down and left it alone for 3 hours. And here it is, looking wonderful, really tender. So it's time to fire up the barbecue. What I've got here is a bucket of oak chippings, and they go in this smoker pipe which sits directly on the burners and is going to infuse our food with a wonderful smoky flavour. We light the gas, and the first thing I'm going to do is grill some tomatoes. I've just put a bit of olive oil and salt and pepper on them, and I'm going to grill them directly on the bars here. And then I'm going to cook some corn cakes to go with the beef. I've got some polenta and some self-raising flour. I've added some little cubes of butter, some smoked paprika and some seasoning and mixed that all together. I stirred through enough boiling water to make a soft dough and added 3 eggs as well. Mixed the whole lot together and now we're ready to griddle. And here we've got a plancha, which is a heavy duty cast iron grill that I'm going to cook the corn cakes directly on. I need to get it really hot. A good glug of oil, so the corn cake mixture goes on there. Dollop at a time, just level it out a bit to flatten them. After about 10 minutes, flip them over. They should be nice and crisp on the underneath. Let them crisp up on the other side. And then when they're cooked and crisp on both sides, I'm going to move them up to the warming rack to keep warm with the tomatoes whilst I cook the beef. It just needs searing for a few minutes on each side to get a lovely caramelised crust. The beer and onion gravy can stay warming on the plancha, and I'm just going to thicken it with a little bit of corn flour and water paste. And once the beef has had 4 or 5 minutes on each side, it's time to serve. And there it is, beer braised barbecue brisket with corn cakes and grilled tomatoes. Delicious.